Although there are some gene expression patterns shared in appendages of invertebrates and vertebrates, suggesting that ancestral invertebrates did possess some specialization of the body wall that would lend itself to the development of limbs, the first vertebrates lacked limbs. For tens of millions of years, no jawless fish possessed limbs, but some of the advanced groups of jawless fish did develop a pectoral girdle and fin. Pectoral girdles are present in the diverse group of fossil jawed fish and include elements which are shared with the pectoral girdles of tetrapods, such as the scapulocoracoid, which was present in placoderms and in acanthodians. Fish not only possess pectoral girdles, they possess pectoral girdles with bones homologous to those found in the pectoral girdles of tetrapods, such as the scapulocoracoid, clitorum, clavicle, and interclavicle. As fish evolved into amphibians, the connections between the pectoral girdle and the skull, bones such as the posttemporal, postclithrum, and supraclithrum, these were lost, thus creating the neck, a pectoral girdle no longer attached to the skull. This evolutionary step apparently occurred in late Sarcopterygian fish, and the fish Tiktaalik possesses a neck lacking these bony connections, and the tetrapods thus began with a pectoral girdle separate from the skull. Although there were some general trends in the pectoral girdle as tetrapods evolved into amniotes, such as the increase in prominence in the scapulocoracoid and the decrease of the clitorum, different lineages evolved different adaptations of the pectoral girdle. Some amphibians even lost their pectoral girdles, and there were legless amphibians in the fossil past, such as aistopods, and there are legless amphibians today, the caecilians, although the first fossil caecilians still possessed 4 limbs. Diverse amniote lineages would adapt the pectoral girdle in different ways. In this alligator, the scapula, procoracoid, and interclavicle were kept, while the clavicle and clitorum were lost. In turtles, the pectoral girdle was actually moved inside the rib cage, and this was managed because early turtles possessed very short ribs, and so the pectoral girdle was alongside a shortened rib cage anteriorly, and then the pectoral girdle simply moved inside the ribs, which later elongated. The same process is evident in turtle embryos today. Snakes obviously lack pectoral girdles and forelimbs today, although there is an early fossil snake, Tetrapodophis, which possessed these structures. Diverse lineages of reptiles adapted the pectoral girdle to an aquatic lifestyle, and several adapted it for flight, including the pterosaurs, which were the first group to fly, and the birds. Note that the structure of the scapula is long and thin, a strap-like bone, in both the theropod dinosaurs and the birds which descended from them.